of South Jacksonville. This meeting is being recorded. That's nice. Please mute yourself and submit any questions or comments via chat, or unmute yourself and let us hear from you. You know the drill. Let's see. I think probably everybody was the host and greeter today, so thank you, everybody. The prayer and pledge today will be given by Stephen Jones. If you please, Stephen.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Let's start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now please bow your heads. This is my go-to Rotary prayer. Dear Lord, if we can do some good today, if we can serve along life's way, if we can something helpful say, Lord, show us how. If we can right a human wrong, if we can help to make one strong, if we can cheer with smile or song, Lord, show us how. If we can aid one in distress, if we can make a burden less, if we can spread more happiness, Lord, show us how. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much.
And I think that's the big man calling right now.
It is. He liked it. I don't know how to mute this. Maybe I'll just throw it away. All right. Thank you so much, and I apologize for that interruption. Christy King, have you news of Family of Rotary for us?
I do. Thanks, President Richard. So we have a little bit of catching up to do for the last few weeks, but for birthdays, Jen Suharmaji celebrated her birthday on July 2nd. Bob Massey celebrated his birthday on July 7th, and Vixen Betty is celebrating his birthday on July 16th. For wedding anniversaries, past President Alan Clark and his wife Betsy celebrated 56 years of marriage on July 2nd. Warner Webb and his wife Sharon celebrated 11 years of marriage on July 3rd. Past President Bill Jaycox and his wife Mary celebrated 34 years of marriage on July 4th. Past President David Bissell and his wife Paige celebrated 37 years of marriage on July 7th. And past President Dick Morales and his wife Marcia celebrated 61 years of marriage on July 8th. And then for member anniversaries, Ryan Goldtree celebrated his first anniversary with Rotary on July 1st. Past President Dean Scott celebrated 23 years with Rotary on July 7th. And Skip Booth celebrated 34 years with Rotary on July 7th as well. And also wanted to mention that past President Odette Strauss also had her second knee replacement surgery yesterday. So please keep her in your thoughts.
Thank you so much, Christy. Our announcements. I know we have an announcement from Bob Massey.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm asking for volunteers, for those of you who would like to meet the newest Rotarians in town, or soon to be Rotarians, as the Northwest Jacksonville Rotary Club will be officials probably sometime by the end of this month, to help with one of the lowest performing schools in Duval County to get a good start on the fast approaching school year. Our Rotary Club of South Jacksonville is a sponsoring club, along with the Rotary Club of North Jacksonville, of the newest Rotary Club in town, Rotary Club of Northwest Jacksonville. Our members are being invited to partner with those members of the Rotary Club of Northwest Jacksonville on their service project to benefit the school they have adopted, which is the Northwest Legends Elementary. It's a very low performing, has been a very low performing school. Volunteers would be working either on landscape renewal, classroom cleanup, moving and organizing the art and music rooms, or organizing the clothing closet. This will take place a week from Saturday, July the 24th. Breakfast served at 7:30. Work groups from 8 to 2 o'clock, but you can come as late as you need to or leave as early as you need to. Feel free to arrive and depart as needed. Northwest Legends Elementary is at 2100 West 45th Street. All of this can be in an email was actually gear this past year, should be in the gear again this week and probably next week. The contact person is me. You probably have my email or cell phone number in the gear. I mean, in the the roster. But look forward to working side by side with you and also with Rotarians from North Jacksonville and Northwest Jacksonville. I think you'll all be excited to meet this energetic group of the newest Rotarians in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. How exciting to see the club get off the ground with this great activity.
Yes, sir. There's going to be a lot of Rotarians there and a lot of good work getting done. The principal there has already joined our Rotary Club of Northwest Jacksonville, and she's very excited by the partnership with Rotary. So thank you very much. I look forward to some of our members participating and getting to know those members of the club.
Oh, thank you. We are as well looking forward to being at our new home, our much discussed and anticipated home next week at the Doubletree Hotel. Parking is complimentary and they have assured us of a very nice luncheon. Anyway, that phrase has the word penitential written all over it because they couldn't accommodate us this week. Anyway, what else? For those of you who were thinking of attending, a reminder that the grant writing seminars for the district are Saturday the 10th at 10 and Monday at 6. Mike Darrow, do you have an announcement?
Yes, I do. On July 31st, one of our members will be heavily involved with the Florida Dental Association Clinic. They'll serve about 2,000 people throughout Jacksonville, down at the Prime Osborne Center, and it'll be from 4 to 6 when they need the biggest help. They need to be able to tear it down. When I talked to Rick about a project that he thought our club might really enjoy doing, that was the one that he mentioned, not just because it's dental, but because they're seeing folks that are really in need and folks that otherwise probably wouldn't see a dentist for anything from a cleaning to finding out in the cleaning they've got cavities, they need a root canal, they're doing it all. And they need to take it all down and be clear of the Prime Osborne that Saturday night, the 31st. It's kind of the biggest crunch they have. Some of you all have already let me know that you can do it. We've collapsed the time from 4 to 6. I'll actually be there from 3 until about 8. But if you can help at all, please help. I'll be back in touch with you and with Julia about how we can appeal to other people in the community. We're also asking Northwest if they can have a couple of folks there just so we get to know them. And we'll have 3 folks from our First Coast Rotaract, and we'll have a few more from the Downtown Rotaract also to get this opportunity to work shoulder to shoulder. And real frankly, with the Rotaract folks, to have some mules around for those of us who are not as prone to carry heavy things.
Okay, Mike, thank you.
So please do get in touch with me. Let me know if you can do it. You can shoot me just a message here. I'll do all the sign up for you. So will Rick Mullins. So thank you.
All right, thank you.
President Richard, before you move on, just a quick question about the grant writing seminar. If we've attended that already, is this like a follow-on or is this the introductory one?
I believe that it's the introductory one. Okay. That is an educated guess. I think what we're doing at this point is kind of signing on for this and putting in our time to see if anything new is going on and to get our names on the list.
Okay.
Both things.
Thank you.
So probably no new revelations.
But Lisa Marie, I do believe for grant writing that you do need to have someone there if you get a grant in the year, but just double check on that. They want to make certain that if you get a grant, you've had someone who's fully trained on how to do the grants as they stand that year.
Okay.
I want to add to what Mike just said. I know that it's mandatory for the training each year. And so if we want to take advantage of grants, even though it may be a repeat and they may not have changed anything, I think Mike is right. You're going to want to check. I think we need to be there.
Yeah, I know I'm going to one.
And the date again on that?
let's see, this Saturday, I believe at 10 a.m. and Monday night, these are Zoom meetings as well at 6 p.m. And I'm crossing my fingers and thinking that there's going to be something on the district website about getting on that Zoom meeting. I hadn't had time to check. Anything else? Okay. Visitors and guests. I know we have one person who'll be a visitor for just one more week, and that's Michelle.
That's depending on her fireside chat, isn't it? Or, you know, she
Yeah.
would love that.
Okay. Hello, Michelle. And I
Hello.
wanted to create, I just wanted to create a minute to acknowledge that our Assistant District Governor, Ed Lombard, is in our midst. And Ed, have you anything for us? No. Okay. Now, I am going to need a refresher course on exactly how we handle our song during a Zoom meeting.
I think
It's
you sing
not-
it, President Richard. I think
No,
go
that can't,
solo because it's the first meeting,
that
right?
cannot possibly be the solution under any
Oh,
circumstance.
President Tom told me that. I'm pretty sure of that.
I think we just think about it really hard,
Give me 1 minute and I'll call it up for you.
which we just did. Okay. Welcome, fellow Rotarians. There. All right. Our program is next. And I think that time belongs to me for some strange reason. Okay. There are a couple of things that I have taken out of this presentation and put into two other ones that I showed other boards this week. And they assured me that I made the right choice in taking those things out. So whatever is left, here we go. And I thank you for your kind indulgence in advance. We'll start with some personal memories of me and where I've lived. I was born in St. Luke's Hospital in Davenport, Iowa. There is the hospital where I was born as it looked when I was born. If you look in the 4th floor window up on the right, there I am. First home, Rock Island, Illinois. Well, it was in the Midwest at any rate. Then Davenport, Iowa, Wichita, Kansas, Buffalo, New York. And no, I was not in the witness protection program. I tried to get in, but they were full. Washington, D.C., you could almost see our house from here. When I was a kid, my friends and I used to bicycle there. When back to the Midwest, one of these was Ronald Reagan's childhood home near my second church. It is not the one that belonged to the axe murderer. A long suppressed page from my high school yearbook. The early 70s were indeed an unusual time, captured by the camera. Does anybody see my photo?
Oh, yeah.
It's horribly obvious, is it not?
You haven't aged a day.
Oh my gosh. Schools I've attended, my grade school on the left, my high school on the bottom left, a place called Congressional School, somewhere in the middle, my college and my seminary where they send prospective pastors to get their master's degrees. Seminaries were, during my studies, I had several jobs, including seminary switchboard operator. That is not me. It is indeed a person from the 1970s, though. My wife said that during this particular slide, I should tell the story of how I almost burned down the seminary building, but I don't think so. Okay, we'll keep going. Our lives may be dedicated to our calling, but we also have personal lives and the memories that go with them. When your school is in St. Paul, Minnesota, this is what everyone in your yearbook looks like all the time. Some personal memories, because we're going to be talking about memory and Rotary very soon. That's why we're doing this. When we got to this slide, I told my wife that she should share a memory about our marriage, and likewise, she declined. Here's one. In the extremely hot summer of 1976, we were married in a church full of people in a ceremony with 5 soloists, a couple of pastors, 200 guests, but no air conditioning. And the weird thing about that service was that somebody took a photo just trailing down the aisle toward where my wife, Melissa, and I were standing and reciting our vows. And the photographer captured a very small child sitting on the aisle that looks just like our first child, our son. And to this moment, we do not know how he got there, because we didn't have him until about 10 years after we were married. Ordination, still no air conditioning. A memory at my ordination, nobody told me that I would need to say the Apostles' Creed in front of everyone from memory. So I sang the Rotary song instead. I've served churches in Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Shreveport, Louisiana, Jacksonville, Florida, and where I am right now, St. Augustine, Florida. That's a picture of us in the pavilion last year blessing the pets with masks on. I'm trying to put a mask on that dog, but there was just no way. Raising children when they were very young, they aren't anymore. Our family, on the left, you can see my daughter with and my son-in-law with their 2 children, my wife and I, and on the right, you can see our son and our daughter-in-law with their 2 children. Right now, they are in Galveston on vacation. Lucky them. Our grandchildren. Here is kind of a potpourri of family life. Our youngest grandson stole my hat. And a book that I wrote for the grandkids. What you're seeing is the proof copy. We wrote we changed the title page and put an E on the end of Madam, as well as Rotary. But what I want to talk most about today is Rotary and the power of memory. Everything I've shown you so far is about the power of memory in relationships. Let's take it a step further and then think about Rotary. A few notes about memory. This guy looks like he knows us. His name is Marcel Proust, and his best known work is the 7-volume novel Remembrance of Things Past, which was retitled for a later publication, but don't ask me what the title was, in which all sorts of recalled memories evoke his own life and time. Marilyn Monroe tried to read it. She would take one of the volumes to the set of a movie every day, but never open it. I tried reading it. I know exactly how she feels. In a closer reading, we would have seen the influence of a guy named Henry Bergson. He was French, but anyway, he said that in order for time to have any meaning, it has to be more than just marking time. It has to be lived, that is, filled with experiences. Time does not exist without experience. For Rotary's purposes, let's say that there is a current question about how to get more members and keep them. We're currently giving this question a lot of attention, especially this week. One of the things it means is that we can leave that to the experts and get back to our favorite subject, creating Rotary memories and what it means when we do. And there is the reason for that. And to make all of this philosophy as clear and useful as possible, let's say this. We are happiest, most productive, most in harmony with those around us, and most in touch with our own vision when we are remembering. Remembering. Remembering is simply putting all the parts of our lives together in a way that adds up to meaning and hope. Remembering. You might say that memory is the foundation of belonging, and memory is how belonging helps us to imagine the future. That's probably the heart of this presentation. You might say that memory is the foundation of belonging, and memory is how belonging helps us imagine the future. And there are three components that make it so. And this is according to what I perceive as the philosophy of memory or memory theory. The past, grounded in truth or impressions, markers, tangibles that bring memories to mind, and imagination that translates memories into future actions. Okay. Let's remember something. For one of another remembered experience, please allow me to continue with my own biography and a specific example. At about the 5-year mark as a member of the South Jacksonville Rotary Club, I was wondering if I should continue with Rotary. I had a job change, I had increased work responsibilities, I had a grandchild whose care I was closely involved in, living in our home, and I thought, what am I doing with Rotary? And I also had vivid memories, on the other hand, of spending one afternoon a week reading to a kindergartner at San Jose Elementary School. There were about a dozen members of our club who were doing the same thing. You may remember. I kept thinking about how my student and I were reading the same book about snow bears for about the 150th time. And I remembered the 150th reading very well. It was first time that student, a very nice little girl whose first language was not English, started reading the words about bears and the little girl in the story and keeping them warm together. And she was doing it for the very first time all by herself. That one memory and how it worked for me preserved my interest in Rotary and brought past and future together for me in a way that's kept me in Rotary all of this time. That memory, that aha moment. Talking about this in a way that's specific to memory research, the book moment was a marker that tied together memory and imagination. Okay. Again, memory is the foundation of belonging and how belonging helps us imagine the future. Once again, here are the three components that make it work: the past, markers, and what's the third one? Imagination. Rotary well understands that the pandemic, changes in the workplace, and changes in people's wants and needs have challenged what it means to belong to a group. Therefore, Rotary leader training this year is focused on how clubs have changed. And what that really means in layman's language is, why would anybody leave their office or their home office and travel to a Rotary meeting or any other kind of meeting? And there's an answer to that. Okay. Rotary, like many other volunteer organizations, is thinking about how these changes will impact commitment to membership. Just as employees are raising questions about allegiance to on-site work and rules and regulations of the workplace, so volunteers are re-examining the whys and wherefores of committing to meetings and projects. Interest in membership recruitment and retention methodology is a high priority in Rotary training right now. And what that means is that from president-elect training all the way through to the latest thing that the district and Rotary International are providing us is concerned about conservation and inspiration of membership. That is the hot topic, and there's a good reason for that. Yet it should be for reasons we've just mentioned. However, paying attention to the human need for belonging rooted in memory, marker, and imagination may be a way to consider the challenge of membership in a post-quarantine world as well. And what that means, at least to me, is if all you talk about is getting members, you never will. If you talk about the reason why members would gravitate toward a certain club and stay there, then that's a different conversation and maybe a more powerful one. Okay, once again, it's about memory, marker, and imagination. And a guy named St. Augustine actually gave us this way of talking about how we are united as a community, and of course it's called remembering. It's about finding personal meaning by being connected and reconnected in a meaningful group. Let's ask then, where are our markers? As we identify them, we reactivate memory and imagination, and belonging comes to life. Where are our markers? Rotary President's Training emphasizes building stronger clubs by doing just two things, and those things are caring for members' needs and caring for the community's needs. That really resonated with me when I heard that during President-elect training, and it seemed to me that that summarized everything that they were trying to say to us. Caring for members' needs and caring for the community's needs, that's where we need to look for markers, and both things need to happen simultaneously. Okay, for Rotary, remembering always means constantly building relationships with each other, that is, caring for members, and with those around us, caring for our community. Again, here's where we find our markers. Our markers are what keeps Rotarians in clubs and what keeps us active as Rotarians. Because of past Rotary leadership, some of those markers are, and there you are. I won't read all of them. You can see them for yourself, and you may see one or two that have sparked your imagination and your allegiance. I know they do for me. And some highlights for this year, especially the meaning and practice of mentoring in our club. That's been in our bylaws for a little while, and I think we're going to see a stronger emphasis on mentoring this time. The efficacy of new kinds of memberships, whatever that means. It may mean family memberships, and I hesitate to say more about that right now because we really haven't had a chance to have a conversation about that in our club, but it's out there and other clubs are doing it. Other areas where we are willing to adapt to member interest needs and the needs of the community. What is the most powerful Rotary marker for you? If you wouldn't mind sharing, I'd like to know. I'm taking that as the Rotary song.
I'll share, President Richard. I
Thank
think
you.
for me, and I've spoken to several about this, it's really that season of my life of where I'm able to engage and recognizing what I'm able to do right now at this level and looking forward to additional markers at a different season in my life.
Mm-hmm. Well said, thank you. All right. Don't want to leave anybody out, but I guess it's time to move on.
I was going to toss one in. The reason that
Yes.
we're doing the dental program is that I found for myself, those things that I really remember, those things that make Rotary special for me are those opportunities to go out and make a difference. Working with Dinkins Grange as we went into some areas of town I'd never been into, meeting folks that I wouldn't have met otherwise that are kind of, they don't have it very easy. But those memories, those markers are ones that make Rotary special. And that's why we ask people to bring folks on July 31st, bring somebody who hadn't been to Rotary So they get a chance, even if they can't join Rotary, don't want to join Rotary, they get a chance to have that same sort of experience.
Thank you. It seems to me, and I chose not to describe it in a slide, but every Rotary International president that I've heard speak via Zoom or any other way has taken the care to show that there was a transformative experience in his life, and that was a hands-on experience, maybe in a service project where Rotary became real to that person, and a sense of leadership began to develop. And I always found that significant. So I thank you for memories, markers, the power of imagination, and the vision for our future that you have helped create in our Rotary Club. And that is my presentation. That took about 10 minutes. My wife is going to kill me. She said, slow down. Oh, well.
It was good learning more about you, Richard.
I
enjoyed that. All of us come from so many different walks of life and so many different experiences. And I think that's one of the great things about this is learning more about the people we share this time with every week.
Well, thank you.
Because we'll all have so much time to do so much more together now, right? Right. That's right.
Instead of these rather compartmentalized Zoom meetings that we all love so much.
We have a good turnout. It's good. It's all good.
Right. Well, if there's nothing else, I have a few reminders for you. Next week, July 20th, we will be in person at our new home in the Doubletree Hotel. Our speaker will be Frank Camp from Jackport. We are looking forward to hearing from him. He will talk about the recent Suez Canal debacle and how that continues to affect worldwide commerce. Mark your calendars and be sure to RSVP. Be sure to RSVP. As we end our meeting, please join me in the Rotary motto: service above self, one profits
most who serves best.
And our bell.
Patty's got the bell.
Yeah, I used to use a wine glass.
They sound about the same to me.
I know. Yeah.
Same Pavlovian response, right?
Well,
yes, that's right.
Maybe not.
Oh.
Good luck, Richard, and well, wish you a great year.
I say thank you so much.